latest on the program?
The flamethrower exos have just cleared testing. Just got the green light for their deployment.
Good. Keep it up. Help! Please!
I'm almost at the control room.
Steel yourself. Cutting the ventilation won't go unnoticed.
Ventilation system's down.
Your path is clear. Good news. Ava's just arrived back at the cairn and brought your daughter with her.
Hidana.
I imagine you'd like to see your daughter before anything else. She'll be in Ava's quarters, I'm sure.
Nobody here, but her computer's on. Old notes from Ava, before she created Lambda Mankind. My Irish brethren, but that was a lifetime ago.
Cahal! You know I hate it when people mess with my stuff.
That's an impressive amount of equipment.
It's the bare minimum for leading a handful of activists against a megacorp like Indran.
Haven't changed much, have you? Aside from a couple of new lines on your face.
Thanks, asshole. You know, I always knew you'd come back. It was just a matter of when.
This isn't quite the reunion I had in mind.
But it's a happy one. I heard about your handiwork at the mine.
Adana.
Cahal?
You must have a lot to talk about. I'll go check on the solar panels. Catch you later.
Adana, How are you doing? You've grown.
It's not worth trying to rebuild that bridge now, Cahal. Not after abandoning me for 5 years.
I'm sorry, Adama.
Where do you think an apology is going to get you? You know, it was hard enough to get over Mom's death, but dealing with the fact that you chose to leave me behind when I needed you most, that left a scar. You were so focused on doing what you thought was right, that you never thought about what it might do to me.
Maybe you're right. I didn't think about how it might hurt you. I spent those 5 years finding my way back to the man I was. Even if you were with me, I wouldn't have been me. And you'd have been just as alone. I was in no state to look after you. I couldn't have been the father you needed. I wasn't.
Stop, Cahal. I'm really not in the mood to hear you rewrite our family history. Endron just carved a bloody wound into my cairn. They killed my friends. Right now, all I care about is tearing Endron apart.
Rodko told me you and Ava were undercover at Endron during the attack.
That's right. I managed to infiltrate the fracking site. They just upped my security clearance, too. I've got access to their protected data. This is the best chance we've ever had at taking Endron down. We sink them from the inside.
How was it with Rodko and Ava?
Honestly, it was hard at first. Rodko was... he was really mad at himself. Over you going away, over Mom's death. He obsessed over my first change. Trained me for months and months. But as we trained, I started thinking, I don't want to go through my first change.
Are you scared?
Fuck no. I just don't want to be a Garu. You're all too unstable. Mom wasn't a Garu, and she was one of the best fighters the Cairn had ever seen. I think that's why I drifted toward Ava and her way of doing things. Fortunately, Rodko mellowed out after a while.
I was able to talk with him earlier. Seems like he's gotten more open-minded in these past few years.
It took him some time to come around, but he finally realized that Ava's methods serve Gaia just as well as his do. Now he's got no problem with the idea of working with humans, or my choice to follow in Mom's footsteps.
You really do take after your mother. Took me aback at first.
I miss her too, Cahal. I think about her every day.
She would have been proud of you.
If you say so.
I'm proud of you, too.
That's nice of you to say and all, but I know you didn't want me to follow her path. That you wanted me to be a warrior like you and Rodko.
I don't know about that. But Garu's life has its share of problems, too. I can't blame you for following your mother's example. She really was exceptional.
She sacrificed herself for Gaia. And she didn't abandon me, so you know. Anyway, Ava and I will keep working at Endron's fracking site. We're gonna take those assholes down from the inside.
Endron's built a fracking site.
It was a rush job. They'd set it up and posted guards before we had any time to react. It's a danger to nature and the spirits alike. Those sites are one of the greatest threats Gaia faces today. It hurts my heart to work there. But I also know that I'm the best chance we've got of putting a stop to it. Soon.
You've seen how bloodthirsty Endron is. Did you know they have a price on your head?
They're not the first. And they're not about to scare me into stopping. We've lost too many already. And if we run, how will we honor their memory? The pack comes first. Besides, Endron doesn't suspect me at all. I'm secure over there.
Secure?
Endron has full confidence in me. Hell, the whole team at the fracking site looks to me for my expert chemical analyses. As long as I stay their golden girl, there's no way they'd imagine I'm connected to those scary eco-terrorists. Least of all the Cairn.
Sink Endron from the inside. And how do you plan on doing that?
A while back, Ava, Rodko, and I discovered that Endron's injecting its new recruits with a special serum that makes them more... everything.
Yeah, I saw it myself when I was in their training center. The injection transforms people. Makes them stink of the worm.
There's more to it than that. When I first joined Endron's ranks, I was trying to figure out what was going on with their biofuel project. But while I was analyzing the formula for the biofuel, I noticed an encrypted molecule within it. No employees have access to its composition. That same molecule is in the substance they're injecting their troops with, as well as another project, the Earthblood Protocol.
The Earthblood Protocol. Any idea what that's about?
Not yet. But that can wait until after we figure out what this mystery molecule actually is. Once we figure out what that mystery molecule really is, we'll know what they're pumping their soldiers with, and their plans for this biofuel. Then we'll leak that info to everyone who'll listen, block the biofuel's launch, and hopefully put the final nail in Endron's coffin. Thing is, right now the encryption they're using on their data's impossible to break. That's why we came back. We wanted to tell Rodko how we were stuck and figure out what to do from here.
How can I help?
If you want to help, go meet with Ava. She and Rodko will be figuring out our next steps.
All right, I'll go check in with her and then have a talk with Rodko. Any idea where I'll find her?
By our solar panels. If you've got any other questions, you'll find me with the rest of the pack. They need me.
How you doing, big guy? Figured I'd get out of the way, let you catch up with 80. Though, from the look on your face, it doesn't look like it went well.
She's still angry at me for leaving.
Can you blame her? Shit, being a teenager's bad enough, but Ludmilla's death, your exile, it was all hard on her. But you did what you had to. You had to get away from us to get yourself back on track.
That's what I tried to tell her.
I've been telling her that for years. Never eased her pain, though. But you're back now. It'll pass. Just give it time.
Adana told me about your mission to infiltrate the fracking site.
Yeah, about that. We're currently at a roadblock. Endron's data encryption is uncrackable.
So she said.
Our only way to get our hands on that data is to take it directly from the server in their lab. But surveillance is tight. Even Adana couldn't get in there without being caught. And I don't think I could create a big enough distraction to draw their security's eyes away.
So, how do you like being Rodko's lieutenant?
Things were a little bumpy in the beginning. Rodko didn't like my way of doing things, so I had to assert myself. Deep down, though, I don't think he would have gone easy on anyone. Nobody could replace you in his eyes.
Sorry you had to go through all that.
It's not your fault, Cahal. I know you needed your time away. I'm not going to blame you for that. Besides, filling Rodko's cairn with humans was never going to be an easy process. Rodko just had to get over it, to learn to stop yearning for the past. It was a slow process, but he's finally managed to turn the page. That said, your return has done him a lot of good. All of us, really. There's a lot of change we can effect with you here, Cahal. Keep that in mind.
How did Adana's training go while I was away?
Rodko tried to make a Garu out of her, but all his training didn't exactly bear fruit. I know she doesn't like talking about it, but she says she doesn't feel the gift.
She must be mistaken. Just as much as my blood flows through her veins as her mother's.
I think only time will tell. But all of Rodko's obsessive Garu training only pushed her closer to me. She took an interest in my work, wanted to know all about my approach to infiltration, my thoughts on humans. And she was a fast learner. Call it ego, but I used to think she was trying to be like me. Then I realized she already had a role model, her mother. Adana realized that I could teach her a lot of the same stuff her mother could have, so she stuck to me like glue. And then she shifted up a gear, studied at Caltech and Columbia University, and she did it all on her own. You should be proud of her.
Always have been. Lambda Mankind's really made something of itself, hasn't it?
Yeah, Took us a while, but we've got a solid group, and our name's out there. The bigger we get, the more we can do. Still need to get public opinion on our side, of course, and that's not going to be easy given the way Indran and its puppet media portray us. But the longer we fight, the better we can reclaim our narrative. The people will come to realize we're fighting for them in due time.
From what I've seen, you've got an uphill battle in the court of public opinion.
That's for sure. Indran's media mouthpieces have done a hell of a job of painting us as terrorists. But hey, it could work out in our favor in the end. If we bring Indran's abuses to light...
Their smear campaign against you will just be one more strike against them. That could work. Adana taking action, the attack on the cairn. It's hard for me to ignore the parallels with the day Ludmilla died.
I suppose the infiltration strategy doesn't exactly help things, huh?
Yeah. I'm terrified that we might somehow see a repeat of 5 years ago.
Don't worry, Gahal. Even if the broad strokes are similar, the details are completely different. We lost Ludmilla because we didn't know that Indran was working with the Black Spiral Dancer. Piece of shit must have realized Ludmilla was one of us. Nothing else could have. There's no way in hell that's happening again. We've checked Indran's security on all their sites around Tarker's Mill. There are no Black Spiral Dancers, not one. Adana's got this. She'll be safe. The fracking site's too well protected. It's too much for 2 people.
What's Rodko think about you two going undercover like this?
As you might imagine, he was a little resistant at first. But once he understood what we wanted to do, he gave us the green light.
Sounds like you've got something in mind.
If we want to draw security's attention, we have to hit them hard. Blowing up the refinery should do the trick. But that's not happening until we can get into the fracking site. That's step 1. The site is protected by an electric fence and a myriad of cameras, all of which are powered by the dam Indran acquired when it bought the site. Now, if someone could get into the dam and connect me to their network, I could access their system discreetly.
Allowing you to cut the power to their defenses without their notice.
Exactly. We can worry about the fracking site after that.
Okay. I'll go talk to Rodko to see how he wants to make up the teams.
Thanks, Gahal. It's good to have you back. But if you don't mind, I'd like to take a few moments for myself. Lost some friends during the attack.
Don't worry. Take all the time you need.
So, any news on the group that was supposed to launch the...
As you know, Magadon claims they opened a new lab to develop natural supplements. It's obviously a front, but they've got the public eating out of their hand.
This letter must have been sent just before the attack on the cairn.
We don't expose them. A whole lot of unsuspecting people.
So, were you able to talk with your daughter?
I had a chance to talk to Yfen for a while. It's hard to believe the state the spirits are in.
What do you mean by that? Are you here to tell me I let them down?
No, that's not it at all. I just want to know what happened.
Fen will tell you that I turned away from the spirits to focus on the pack, on Adana. It's true in part. I needed to keep the pack unified, but I never abandoned the spirits. I did everything I could for them. But I never had the sort of connection with them that Rafik had.
And the worm?
His influence is spreading here. It's spreading everywhere. We're all fighting against it as best we can. But as long as Indran stays here, the worm will remain strong. It will try to corrupt our minds, to weaken Fen and the spirits.
Never thought I'd have a chance to say this after I left, but I'm glad to be back among the pack.
Me too, Cahal. I'm glad to have you, especially right now. I'll respect your choice to leave once this storm passes, but you know as well as I do that your place is here. You are my right hand, Cahal. After what you did at the mine, I'd say you still are.
That's Ava's place now.
I know, and she's a fine fit for the role. But you and I, we have a different bond.
Whether I go or stay, Rodko, that bond will always remain.
I truly hope so, Cahal.
As you might imagine, there's still a lot of tension there.
Between the attack on the cairn and your sudden return, she's going through a lot right now. Give her time.
Ava said the same thing. I hope you're both right. Speaking of Ava and Adana, they told me about their plan to get their hands on the encrypted data inside the fracking site's laboratory.
To bring Endron down from the inside, yes. I think they've got the right idea. If we manage to chase Endron from this region, they'll just continue their dirty work elsewhere. It's time for a decisive blow. So we follow Ava and Adana's plan. We'll attack the dam to bring down the defenses of the fracking site. I want you to lead the incursion. You coordinate with Ava and Adana over comms, and allow them access to the dam's network.
Ava gave me the rundown. But if I set off a single alarm, things will get very dangerous very quickly.
I know. One sign something's amiss, and Tank Girl will be at the dam before you know it. So while you're sneaking through the inside of the dam, I'll be creating a diversion on the outside. That should keep her attention off you. And even if someone does raise the alarm at the dam, Tank Girl will have no idea why you're really there.
Good. You can count on me.
Excellent. We'll have Declan meet you near the dam. He's got the relays you'll place to get Ava and Adana access to Endron's network.